Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is my Endless Wishes bag, and it's a lovely pinch clothes bag. You can't see it very well because it's a bit dull today, and I've stamped it on black, but I've deliberately stamped it on black so that its beautiful white snowflakes show up so clearly. But I'm going to show you how to make the bag and how to do the stamping, because as you can see, it doesn't come around the sides or around the bottom. It's literally just on the front, and then how to make the hanging tag. So I'm going to pop that out of the way. You need a piece of cardstock. I've got Night of Navy this time, that was basic black. And this measures 8 by 11.5 inches, which is 20 by 29 centimetres. So if you're in the US and you work with 8.5 by 11, I'm sorry you're going to have to use a piece of 12 by 12, but that's okay. It's worth it for such a gorgeous bag. Anyway, with the long side at the top, you're going to score it first at 3.5 inches. Then at 5.5 inches, at 9 and 11 inches, and in metric that is 9, 14, 23 and 28, and then you turn it around and you score it at 2 inches, and which is at 5 centimetres. And then the finished dimensions of the bag, because I'm doing my best to remember, is it's 6 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide by 2 inches deep, which in metric is 15 centimetres, by 9 by 5 centimetres. Oh, good, I remembered that bit. Okay, let's move my scoring tool and grab my bone folder. So you fold on all your score lines and give them a burnish, because obviously this is cardstock, so you don't want it to bow or anything like that. You just want it beautifully crisp. Okay. Right, determine which is your front and the back. So where this skinny side is, that's going to meet round at the back. So this part here is the front, and this is where you want to do the stamping. So we're going to stamp to the left, and then we're going to stamp to the bottom. So you can either mask it with a piece of paper there, or you can simply fold over, which is what I'm going to do. So a beautiful Endless Wishes stamp set. Now apparently in America this was on a limited offer and it sold out straight away, and it's been brought back into the winter catalogue, which is lovely, and I love it, and I can understand why it went so quickly. And I'm going to use the Stays On ink, which is in Whisper White. Now when you get your Stays On ink, it comes with the refill straight away, and you keep your little spreader doodah and those bits there because you refill it when you want to use it, because it's a very thick, it's almost like PVA glue, and that gets you that very crisp white finish. So you use your little spreader doodah being so technical, and you spread it into the pad. And I've got I grabbed a piece of tissue here just so I can wipe this bit off. Pop those out of the way, and then you start stamping. So I'm going to go with the biggest ones first. I'm going to bring my original one back in. So I want to have one big snowflake. And look at that, beautifully crisp, but because it stays on it will dry quite quickly as well. Take one up there, and then I want to come underneath as well. So I'm just hiding basically the bits I don't want to stamp on. Come around there. And like I say, you could mask it if you wanted to, but you know, I'm not, I'm lazy. And then I think I will just fill in the gaps now. Stays on, you can see I'm lifting it up almost as I'm stamping with my stamp into it, and that's because it's a stickier ink, and so that's why it is so beautifully white and crisp, but dries very quickly as well. I think that's probably enough. Okay, and then I need a piece of cardstock to do my sentiment, which I helpfully forgot to get out, so just grabbing a scrap down at the side. So some more of this, and then I've got my wording laid out already. So it says sending you Christmas wishes. Now I spent a bit of time lining this up, which has now gone off alignment. I'm using my grid paper and trying to avoid getting my head in the camera. I'm lining it all up so I can stamp and then punch in one go. You could, you know, it is a photopolymer. You can see straight through it, so you could stamp all your elements separately. And then the punch, I've got the large oval punch, and that didn't line up, so we'll have to do it separately. Okay, let's take these bits off. It worked inside my head. So I have the wishes there. Take that one off, and we'll put Christmas on next. Covering myself in ink. And we'll have the sending you. There we go. That should now fit. Phew, it fits. Perfect. So punch that one out. I'll have another one with the scallop oval. And let's just clear everything off my desk. Okay. So where have I put these little punched holes? Because I'm going to punch these. They are only in the scallopy part. So I've got my tiny little 1/16 of an inch handheld punch. So one there and one there, and I've got my baker's twine, and I've got a needle already on it because that was just a battle you didn't want to watch me doing, battling with the baker's twine. And just pull through two sides. Get rid of that because I don't need it. And there's Fennel yowling her head off, and I want to tie a knot because it will go all the way behind the back, but I want to tie the knot of this part first because I need to loop the ribbon through it. So where should I cut off? I don't want it to hang too far down, but also don't want it to be so short it doesn't hang. That's about right, I think. Get rid of those, and then I've got my dimensionals. I'm going to take one onto the back of the greeting and position it over, and I'm going to have two on the back. Well, actually, I could probably just use a bit of sticky tape, which I haven't got to hand, so I will put two of these on the back, and that's to anchor the baker's twine in place, and that's why it will then permanently hang like that. There we go. Right, let's move all these bits out of the way and my needle and build this box up. So this is the bottom, this little skinny section, don't need that, so chop that away. Anything tangled up there. And then cut all of these ones straight up to the score line. Okay, and then it will fold round, and then we're going to punch it closed. So I'm going to, if I can see it, use my fuse, because I love the fuse. Now I've mastered the technique of working it. You actually don't go quickly, you go quite slowly with it. And then a gentle flick away. I see, I've said I've mastered it, and I clearly haven't. I'm going to fold it over, push it down, and then fold in your sides and the bottom, and then this part here is the front. Pull that up, and when you pinch it in, it's just going to pull in. Force your sides in as well. You could score those lines if you wanted to. And then to get the holes, because this is cardstock, you do need a bit of a weighty tool. So something like a crocodile, which I put away. Put everything away. A crocodile, you can do it with our handheld punches, but you do need to go through all of the parts separately. So I'm just going to go a bit bigger. Whoops. With my crocodile. And then my Night of Navy seam binding ribbon, which has gone walkies. Oh, it's right in front of me, that's why. Okay. Through the front and then round the back. You could put the white in, which is what I did in my original one. I've got Whisper White here. Off those bits. And I've just grabbed a couple of pegs just to hold it closed because it's cardstock and it wants to open itself up. So that's just to keep it closed more than anything. So tie a knot and then thread the tag on. And then tie your bow. All fingers and thumbs here. I've either not had enough coffee or I've had too much coffee today. Not sure which yet. And that is your bag and hanging tag when it comes back round. Done. And it's rather lovely. I think that's very pretty, and obviously the white looks best, well, it's slipping down because it's upside down. The white looks best against a dark colour, so you could just go all the way through the Regals collection and do a whole variety of these bags. But equally I think it would look quite pretty against a paler colour. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.